You know, the universe should be absolutely buzzing with life. But when we point our telescopes out there and listen, all we get is silence. This weird, spooky contradiction has been bugging scientists for decades, and it all comes down to one simple, unsettling question.
Picture this. It's 1950. The brilliant physicist Enrico Fermi is just having lunch with some colleagues, and he asks this question: where is everybody? And with those 3 words, he perfectly captured a massive contradiction at the heart of everything we thought we knew about the cosmos, kicking off what we now call the Fermi paradox. So here's the paradox. Our universe has something like 2 trillion galaxies, and each of those has over 100 billion stars. We now know that planets are everywhere, with literally billions of them that could probably support life. And yet when we listen in, we hear nothing. Just this great cosmic silence.
And believe me, it's not like we haven't been trying to listen. We are constantly searching. For instance, not too long ago, when that interstellar object 3I/Atlas came zipping through our solar system, the Green Bank telescope pointed its giant ear right at it. It was scanning for any little hint of an artificial signal, what scientists call a techno-signature. And the result? You guessed it, complete and utter silence. So what gives? Well, one of the possible answers is genuinely terrifying.
So that brings us to the dark forest. This hypothesis offers a pretty disturbing explanation for why we're hearing nothing but static. It suggests the universe isn't empty at all. It's just that everyone is hiding. Basically, the whole idea boils down to this: survival is everything. And in a universe where you have no idea what anyone else's intentions are, the smartest play isn't to wave hello. It's to be completely, totally quiet. Because revealing your location could be a death sentence, inviting something way more powerful to come and wipe you out. And that quote from the sci-fi novel that gave this theory its name, it just perfectly captures the feeling, right? It paints this picture of a universe where every single civilization is a potential threat, and the first one to make a sound is the first one to get taken out. So the question is this just sci-fi paranoia, or is there some cold, hard logic to it? Okay, this is where it gets really interesting. The theory isn't just based on some vague fear. No, it's grounded in a kind of ruthless, cosmic game theory. We're not talking about good versus evil here. This is about pure, calculated survival. The whole argument hangs on 3 pretty simple assumptions. First, survival is the #1 goal of any civilization. Makes sense. Second, civilizations are always growing and expanding, always needing more. And third, the amount of stuff, of resources in the universe is finite. You put those 3 things together, and right away you've got a recipe for potential conflict. But then 2 final concepts come in and just lock this whole terrifying logic into place. First, you've got the chain of suspicion. Across the insane distances of space, you can never be sure what another civilization is thinking, which leads to endless paranoia. And second, there's the threat of a technological explosion. A civilization that looks primitive today could have a massive breakthrough tomorrow and become a galaxy-ending threat overnight. All right, let's play the game. Let's put ourselves in the hot seat. If we broadcast our existence out into space, the best outcome is, who knows, but the worst outcome? Total destruction. But if we just stay quiet, we guarantee we survive, at least for now. When you look at it that way, shouting hello is a massive, massive gamble. Okay, now let's flip the script. Imagine a more advanced civilization picks up our signals. What's their most logical move? Well, if they do nothing, they're taking a risk that one day we'll have our own technological explosion and become a threat to them. But if they strike first, they eliminate that threat entirely. It's brutal, but from a purely logical standpoint, hitting first is the only move that guarantees their survival. And here's a thought to keep you up at night. What if the hunter in the forest isn't even alive? Not in the way we think of it. A lot of researchers think any truly advanced species will eventually build an artificial superintelligence, and an ASI, without any emotions to get in the way, would be way more efficient, and maybe way more ruthless in carrying out this cold survival logic. I know, it's a completely terrifying thought, but what if I told you there's a wild twist to all of this? What if the very same idea, this crowded, dangerous forest, is actually what keeps us safe? So we've been running with this idea that a crowded galaxy is a hostile one, but some researchers are flipping this whole thing on its head, and they're using the theory's own ruthless logic against itself. what if that whole terrifying logic is just wrong? So right now, humanity is kind of stuck between two big ideas about our galaxy. Are we living in a galactic desert where life like us is super rare? Or are we in a dark forest where life is everywhere, but it's all in hiding? But now, just imagine for a second, we find them. We spot evidence of a civilization on a nearby planet. That one single discovery wouldn't just tell us we're not alone, it would actually tell us something huge about the entire galaxy.
Think about it statistically. The odds of just randomly bumping into our one and only neighbor are basically zero. So if we find one, it almost has to mean that the galaxy is actually packed with them. That one discovery would instantly make the dark forest scenario, a galaxy teeming with life, the most likely one.
And that creates a whole new paradox, what some people are calling the inverted Fermi paradox. If the galaxy really is a crowded forest full of hunters, and we've been, chirping like a foolish bird with our radio and TV signals for 100 years, why hasn't a hawk swooped in to shut us up? So what's the most likely answer? Well, maybe the forest isn't as dark as we think. The fact that we're still here in what would have to be a crowded galaxy is pretty strong evidence that these preemptive strikes are not the norm. Something must be stopping this endless cycle of destruction. It would mean that the hunters, for whatever reason, have decided not to hunt.
And all of this brings this huge cosmic debate right back home, to us, right now. This isn't just a fun thought experiment anymore. It's about a real decision humanity has to make. Do we shout into the void, or do we stay hidden? This is the core of the METI debate, messaging extraterrestrial intelligence. You've got one camp, with people like the late, great Stephen Hawking, who basically said, "Are you crazy? Don't shout into the jungle." They argue the risk of a hostile response is just too high. But then you have the other side, arguing that making contact could help us solve some of our biggest problems. Or maybe we'll need some friends out there in a dangerous universe. It is a massive argument with incredibly high stakes.
So it all comes down to this. Do you bet on a silent, dangerous forest, where the only way to win is to not play the game at all? Or do you bet that the silence is just waiting for a friendly voice to break it? If you were the one with your finger on the button, would you send the message?